everyone. I'm Judge Janine Pirro, along with Geraldo Rivera, Jesse Waters, Dana Perino, and Greg Gutfeld. It's 5 o'clock in New York City, and this is The Five. The tyranny against the Freedom Convoy truckers getting much worse. Justin Trudeau abusing his emergency powers for a crackdown in a desperate attempt to put a stop to their peaceful protests. Ottawa's police issuing a notice telling demonstrators to leave the Canadian capital now or be arrested. But the truckers aren't backing down, telling the despot in the making to go pound sand. And while Trudeau digs in, other leaders are saying enough is enough.
This is about, again, democracy and freedoms and liberties. And I hate, as a government, telling anyone what to do. We just got to get moving forward and get out of this and protect the jobs. Everyone's done with us. Like, we are done with it. Let's start moving on and cautiously. And, you know, we've followed the rules, all of us, like 90% of us, for over 2 years. The world's done with it. So let's just move forward.
It's not just the truckers who are being harassed, it's their supporters, too. Donors who contributed to one crowdfunding website reportedly got their names leaked after the website was hacked. And now a government staffer there is reportedly out of a job after she donated $100, and the owner of a cafe in Ottawa closing down her shop after her name appeared on the hacked list. Her business started receiving threats after her donation was posted on Twitter. All right, I'll start with you, Greg. It seems that we've got Trudeau who is trying to be tough, but the truckers are digging in just as strongly. I mean, is he motivating them at this point?
I think it might be too late for him to do it. Prime Miniature should have walked back his deplorable screed a while ago when he jumped the gun, and he should have tried to talk to them. But instead, he's trying to grow his hair out like a 2020 version of Kate Jackson. By the way, I welcome him in this transition. Hair-wise is what I'm saying. But he could have gone outside instead of hid like Captain Girly Pants. But I want to talk about this doxing and what they're doing to supporters. We live in a time where the media happily helps dox people who are donating to a non-violent protest. By the way, they've been saying this isn't a peaceful protest, but they haven't showed one single example of it. We saw months and months of violence and arson, and we were told that was mostly peaceful. The same people saying that are calling this violent without any evidence. So we have people happily doxing people who donated to a non-violent protest, but they won't do the same for a Black Lives Matter chapter who used $100,000 of donations to free a would-be assassin who tried to kill a Jewish Democrat mayor candidate. So those donors actually are helping to free a would-be mass killer. But you don't hear about that. Instead, what you hear about is, hey, let's go after these truckers because, they believe in freedom. That's the other irony. What a ghoulish hypocrite the Prime Minister is. He always used to act like he supported human rights and all this stuff, and then he cracks down on a protest movement that is just asking for freedom. He's such a joke. It's time for him to resign, go back, become a maitre d' at a restaurant. You got the looks. You'll probably get great tips.
Yeah, he's got to make sure his eyebrows stay on. But Jesse, I'll go to you. He actually says we're not limiting freedom of speech. This is Trudeau. We're not limiting freedom of assembly. And yet the police are going to homes of supporters now who posted that they support the Freedom Convoy. Isn't that exactly what he's doing, limiting speech and assembly?
Yeah, but if you say you're not doing it, then you're not. That's how he gets away with it. And come on. I think it was RFK who said that democracy's messy. Democracy's hard. It's not easy all the time. Well, it's kind of messy in Canada, and so what? It's democracy. Things get crazy sometimes. There's strikes, there's labor actions. We had a civil rights movement, an anti-war movement in this country, and it's up to a strong leader to hear the primal scream of the population and deal with it with a little finesse. Don't deal with it like Dr. Evil would. This is not an ISIS caliphate in Ottawa. These are your countrymen. Treat them with a little respect. Biden did the same thing. Greg talks about it. You guys are all for freedom of expression and rights, and then someone complains at a teacher's conference and they treat you like a terrorist and they turn the federal government against you. It's the same thing he's doing here. He's treating his people like terrorists, and you can't do this to your own people. If you protest someone's policies, that doesn't give you the right to cancel them, to dox them, to throw them in jail, to freeze their bank account. AOC says democracy's dying. She might be right, and the left is killing it.
Well, you know, as it relates to that, Trudeau, in order to, I understand that in order to use this National Public Emergency Act, Parliament has to put his imprimatur on it.
Eventually.
No, within 2 weeks, Parliament has to vote on it. My understanding is he's not that popular in Canada. How is he going to bring this to an end?
You know what is not that popular in Canada, Judge, is this trucker, this freedom convoy.
Well,
what about the freedom of the homeowners to live in peace? What about the freedom of the shopkeepers to do business? What about the freedom of the auto workers to get parts so they can put their cars together?
Did you say this when they were burning down the federal courthouse in Seattle for 2 months?
I did more than that. I condemned it. I condemn anybody who feels so
but what violence are they creating?
So empowered that they can take away your rights to establish their rights.
What rights are they taking away?
They're taking away the right of the homeowner to sleep in peace, the right of the shopkeeper to do business,
Where are you
the right of the
this?
auto workers
Where
to get parts.
Where are you seeing these
to
rights
do
being taken away? They're not parked in front of people's houses.
They are
They're not parked in front of people's houses, honking at the middle of the night. They're actually being welcomed.
You are. It is conservative media.
You have one person you're talking to in Canada.
It is conservative media that has gone from support to incitement. These people are violating the rights of others in Canada.
Are you saying we're inciting it?
The polls that I see, the Hub, Ledger, Ipsos, these polls all show between 65 and 69% of Canadians oppose these truckers. Because this has gone on long enough.
Oh, that's amazing.
Just show the evidence. That's what we ask.
Yeah, they have a very short
Open your eyes and look.
No, I actually read and do research. I don't just come here and yell. Although sometimes I do.
Dana,
you yell all day, every day.
Okay, Dana, I'm going to go to you.
Okay.
We will speak at a very, very normal level.
Yes, ma'am.
What about, there is a mess there. Even the police chief resigned. The police chief is not happy with what Trudeau is doing there.
Yeah, well, because Trudeau is going to try to blame him.
Yeah.
I mean, he is the prime minister. He's also Justin Trudeau. He doesn't understand that he had this opportunity to be like, oh, he is going to be this wonderful young leader of freedom in the world, and now it's just he's a complete and total joke. Because the other thing is, if you start talking about seizing people's bank accounts because they're protesting, and then this information is leaked. Not only was it leaked, but Sagar and Jetty, he tweeted this at he got this from a source. The Washington Post is contacting people who donated and asking them, why did you give? Please respond to this email. And you know, like if you just gave $100 and then you got that email, you might think, oh my gosh, what's going to happen?
Are you saying the Washington Post is going with hacked documents?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Is that legal?
Sources,
I didn't know they were allowed to do that.
Anonymous sources. I do think that I hope this comes to an end soon, because a lot of the provinces are saying we don't need the mandates anymore because either through natural immunity or through vaccines, and now we have treatments, we're all good. So I actually don't understand why Justin Trudeau doesn't just say, we're good here. You're good, we're good, everybody go back to work.
Do you think the vaccine mandates are really the issue now?
Yeah, but
if they were to stop all vaccines,
Justin Trudeau used these workers for a year.
Yes.
2 years, excuse me, and made them go to work every day, called them essential, basically didn't provide them with what they needed, and then in one stroke of a pen, on one day said, actually, you're no longer essential workers.
Yeah.
Now you're non-essential. It's very rude.
But I have to respond to this thing because Geraldo says blanketed right-wing media is inciting, and it's essentially he's also implicating us because we are defending the truckers.
How dare you?
I'm okay with that because the fact is we've always been on the right side. We are not like
the right side, but not the right side.
We're not like you, Geraldo, which has a disdain for the working class.
Oh,
we are not.
Please.
No, listen.
I am the working class.
Yeah, in that Bentley, right? Go driving to your.
That's after 50 years of hard work and more charity than you'll ever do in your entire life.
No, my point is, you don't like these guys.
Coming up, first AOC blamed it on baby formula. Now wait until you hear what the White House has to say is behind the crime surge.